Okay, and what's ironic is that later on, when Dr. Dre left Death Row and he was trying to start his new label, he actually tried to buy the black market name from, said.
Yeah, he did. He tried to, I think Ronan Rowe wrote about it in his book, Have Gun Will Travel, for those who want to go document that. But yeah, Aftermath, what became Aftermath was actually, if Dr. Dre had his way, would have been Black Market Records. He wasn't just trying to buy the name, he was trying to buy the company. Dre tried to buy Black Market Records. And if he had his way, Eminem would have been signed to Black Market Records up under all of, a name and a brand that we had built. That I was the first artist ever to release a record from. That would have been Dre's next run. And there's Dr. Dre on the cover of The Source doing my Psychoactive album cover pose. So there's a lot of documented demonstrations of the influence that I had on them, which I think is dope because there is no Psychoactive, there is no niggas in black without Dr. Dre doing what Dr. Dre was doing. I had so much Dre poured into me, and I always viewed myself as Dre's MC. I really kind of going from listening to what Ant Banks and Teddy and them was doing with Too Short to watching Dr. Dre come into his prime between Straight Outta Compton, Easy Does It, the No One Could Do It Better, DOC, and then Niggas for Life and the 100 Miles of Running. Man, like me, I was writing rhymes and starting and stopping where they started and stopped. And that was kind of how I learned how long a verse should be. So for me to have that much Dr. Dre poured into me, no Diddy, and then be able to see my influence on Cuz, to me, that's a dope ass thing. He did my album cover. He tried to buy Black Market Records. Like, that's some dope ass shit to be a part of.
Okay, so Psychoactive gets released. And at the time, there's a war going on between 24th Street Garden Blocc Crips and the Meadowview Bloods.
I would say that these things predate that war, that era of funk created Psychoactive more so than Psychoactive happening during it or at the beginning of it. Psychoactive was a result of that, the energy of Psychoactive. So Garden Blocc, we all from the Gardens. Even my Meadowview niggas, we all rep Gardens. That G is red and blue. And niggas from LA could relate to that, being like Watts. You could be from a section that section might have Bloods and Crips in it. So the overall larger section got Bloods and Crips, but then inside of that, it has its own internal politics. And that's kind of how the Gardens are. So the Guerrilla Gardens, which the Guerrilla Gardens as a whole was red and blue. Before that, it wasn't nothing. It was just homies. And then it got divisive and niggas start packing each other out. Niggas start getting beat up. And motherfuckers started defending themselves. So First Blood, my homeboy Jimmy Jeans got killed on walking down Florin Road. He got shot and by people who allegedly was from the other side right there where we were. And so that brother went and did damn near forever in prison and niggas started smacking each other. That domino tipped dominoes. So they smack somebody and somebody gets smacked back and they smack somebody and somebody got smacked back and they smacked somebody, allegedly smacked J-Dog, and then I got arrested. So that's kind of how that happened.
Right, because your close friend J-Dog gets killed.
J-Dog wasn't my close friend. J-Dog, my family. My family members are related to these niggas. So that nigga wasn't my friend. That was a family member. That was my homeboy and a family member. That was my family. My family members have his blood in them.
Right. So there's already a sense of anger over this whole situation, having someone that close to you get killed.
Yeah, anger is the wrong word. It was like what we came to call the season of the sickness. It was up. Well, no, it wasn't even anger. It was just factual. Yeah, it was just deliberate, blatant. This is what it is. And they felt that way too. It's some real ass niggas from Meadowview. Ain't no hoes over there. It take real niggas to create real niggas. And the presence of our presence and their presence created some of the dopest niggas ever to this day. And so that's kind of what happened. It created, you had to be with your shit. We all was homies My big homies was homies with them, and they was all of the same cloth and built the same kind of niggas, drank the same water, ate the same food, went to the same schools, and the same shit that made us made them. And it just, niggas getting beat up created enemies. It created enemies, and enemies who was capable of defending themselves. And that's kind of what happened. That's how Garden Blocc, we got founded as a result of relationships with our attachment to blocks in Compton. So you got the Nutty Blocks that's family to us coming to South Sacramento and establishing the block environment out there and our connection to the Santanas. And so we are a product of Nutty and Santana Block going back to the late 70s. And then as Garden Blocc Crip and GBC start coming to its own by the mid 80s. So as we start knocking on the late 80s, people start getting smacked. And as you run into the 90s, it was up. So we actually Garden Blocc damn near gave birth to Meadowview as a result of niggas defending themselves, just trying to defend themselves.